The last thing you'd expect to see on a golf course are wild animals. However, a few times in the past, various animals made their way on the golf course. These range from rather common animals to some really exotic, surprising guests. Lions. The Skukuza Rest Camp in South Africa's Kruger National Park is home to one of the world's most unusual golf courses, which is located on the outskirts of the Skukuza Golf Course. The course is one of the most distinctive in the world, and it is open to the public. The Skukuza Golf Course, which consists of 9 holes and 18 tees, was originally built as a recreational facility for Skukuza employees in the early 1970s, but it is now open to all park visitors as part of the Skukuza Resort. Because it's not fenced in, the course can provide a one-of-a-kind golfing experience with visitors such as lions, hyenas, hippos, impala, and warthogs, as well as other wild animals, of course, on the course at various times throughout the year. Dogs. Paul Casey had his ball stolen once by a dog, to be precise. On the 12th green at Kings Barnes, a dog ran onto the green and picked up Casey's ball, which he was about to line up for an eagle putt during his round at the Alfred Dunhill Links in 2012. Casey was going through a particularly difficult time at the time. On the 13th hole, he is said to have asked the dog to drop the ball closer to the hole, but the dog refused and bolted, and a spectator apprehended the ball thief and returned Casey's original ball to him. "It's the weirdest thing I've ever had happen on a golf course," Casey said about the incident. "I noticed the dog on the 12th tee and he sort of followed us down the fairway before taking a real liking to my golf ball." Casey went above and beyond by returning the ball to the dog as he was walking away from the golf course, demonstrating his continued generosity. Alligators. Kip Henley determined that a greenside alligator was no match for a rake during the first round of the 2012 RBC Heritage, and we applaud him for making that determination. After Gay fired a slightly errant shot close to the edge of the water, the alligator emerged from the water to defend its territory. Henley quickly dispatched the scaly adversary with a single swift push and a flurry of arm shaking, demonstrating that the toothy reptile was no match for him. "It was a good fight," Henley said after the fight. Also, make sure to write your thoughts on the surprise guest in the comments section. Capybara. In 2016, after a 112-year absence from the Olympic Games, golf made its return to the Rio de Janeiro Games, where it drew a great deal of attention for the course that Gil Hanse designed specifically for the Games. Capybaras are the world's largest rodents, and they can weigh up to 150 pounds and be the size of a small dog. One of the facility's residents, a capybara the size of a small dog, shared this sentiment. "It was the vermins that were the most popular subject for photographers, outnumbering the course's other residents, which included a ground-nesting owl, caimans, boa constrictors, and 3-toed sloths, all of whom were also photographed." Baboons. From the Pazula Golf Course in South Africa, you can see the Knysna Lagoon, as well as the Indian Ocean, which is a beautiful sight. A team of baboon monitors is on call at all times to keep an eye on the troop of baboons that congregate near the many of the holes, and they are on call at all times. Former world #1 Luke Donald was the subject of a viral video not long ago when competing in the Nedbank Golf Challenge in another part of South Africa. A baboon charged towards him on the 13th fairway, and they strolled past him as a surprised Donald attempted to regain his composure on the course. Seagulls. Lowry, a professional golfer from the United States, was a victim of one of the most bizarre animal incursions on the PGA Tour in 1998 while competing in the Players' Championship in Las Vegas. While trying to hit a shot onto the island green at the infamous 17th hole, Lowry was interrupted by an oblivious seagull who took a fancy to his ball and picked it up. Once the ball was dropped in a nearby body of water, the bird flew away with it. In order to avoid incurring a penalty, Lowry was given the opportunity to replace his lost ball. Stick around the end of the video to find out what other crazy animals made their way on a golf course. Frogs. Yep, I'm sure you heard me correctly. The American was merely attempting to get up and down from the side of a tee box during the 2014 KLM Open when a frog became enraged and decided to escalate the situation to a dangerous level. "I don't like frogs," said Eline about the incident. Geese. Sometimes geese can be aggressive and vicious creatures, and it's best to avoid them. In fact, it's even worse when they're after golfers, as demonstrated in this video from America's Funniest Home Videos. Afraid that he has lost sight of his golf ball in a nearby lake, our unfortunate golfer decides to go looking for it in the lake, where the winged beasts take offense and attack, nipping at his heels until he trips and falls. Because the goose did not receive any points, we believe that it is dissatisfied with the situation and is jealous of the other birds, such as the eagles and the albatrosses. Spider monkeys. Monkeys and macaws are among the visitors of the Worldwide Technology Championship at Mayakoba, the PGA Tour's only stop in Mexico. Monkeys and macaws are frequently spotted at the tournament. Given the course's rainforest setting adjacent to the Caribbean Sea, spider monkeys have become a more visible presence at the Greg Norman-designed El Camaleon golf course in recent years. A few years ago, a primate appeared to saunter out onto the fairway and stared down golfers in the distance, as if someone had driven into his group of family and friends. It was an unforgettable experience for everyone. Hornets. It happened as he made his way down the 5th hole on his way to the 18th hole at the 2014 Malaysian Open when he was attacked by insects. He was on the cut line at the time. This was made even more perplexing by the fact that he had not disturbed any kind of nest at all. A harmless joke turned into something much more painful for the Catalan player after he was stung 20 times, forcing him to jump into a nearby lake to escape the stinging insects. By the way, how would you have reacted to this situation? Let us know in the comment section down below. Baby bears play with course flag. Bears on a golf course? That's a stretch. Although British Columbia has its fair share of wildlife, you can imagine seeing any of it on a golf course? Isn't that something you don't see every day though? It was probably well-deserved, given that he was attempting to tend the flag at the Fairmont Hot Springs Resort while donning a fluorescent yellow shirt and eating one of the players' golf balls. Kangaroos. This is despite the fact that these marsupials are considered to be some of Australia's equivalent of deer in the United States, and they can provide a memorable experience for travelers who travel to the land down under to take part in golf, which is Australia's most popular participation sport. For example, a recent incident in which an angry mob of kangaroos charged up to a female amateur golfer just as she was about to hit her first tee shot is a good example of how an experience like this can be equally memorable for locals and tourists. What an intimidating gallery to be confronted with. Before we jump into the craziest animals ever seen on a golf course, be sure to subscribe for more golf content. Let's get into the most surprising animal that made its way onto the golf course. Giraffes. In its marketing materials, the Zebula Golf Estate and Spa, which is located 2 hours north of Johannesburg, describes itself as a unique lifestyle destination. A herd of giraffes cruising the fairways would undoubtedly qualify as a memorable experience. Apart from the fact that it is significantly larger in stature than lions or baboons, it also has an unrivaled advantage in any crowded gallery, which is probably safe to say. However, the fact that there are no ropes to keep these fans from enjoying themselves only adds to their enjoyment of the occasion. Check out the craziest golf fans caught on camera here!